Mm. Hello, everyone.
It's good to see you. We're here for a sacred purpose. Really, we're here in the service of all being. The service here tonight, the sacred gathering is in service of all being, in service of freedom and realization for all beings. And someone asked us recently, how can you just be yourself? Which is what we all want. We all want to just really be ourselves. But you can't be yourself until you've realized yourself. And you can't realize yourself until you've turned your back on yourself. That's the paradox. Until you really have renounced fully and turned your back fully on everything you call myself, you don't realize yourself. You get glimpses, you get tastes, you have flashes or insights, but they don't last. Because the egoic mind incorporates those experiences into me, and I become a more spiritual somebody. And so we've all had different experiences of that in our own way, where the ego expands to include enlightenment rather than disappearing into enlightenment. In order to disappear into enlightenment, there has to be a real willingness to give it up, to die to it. Everything that we call real, everything that we call me, everything that we call mine, the willingness to turn our back on that is the possibility to face the unknown, and to face it without holding any baggage, without keeping any secret stashes. Because any secret stash we're holding is the barrier to get through.
And the most secret stash, the most golden one, is the enlightened me. Is the me that knows I am one with everything, as valid as that knowledge may be, and as valid as the knowledge may be as a reflection of an absolutely true experience. Once it's conceptualized and held as me and my knowledge, it's a burden, it's a weight. It's not the living truth. It's a pointer to the truth. But it in itself is not alive.
And the surest, easiest, cleanest, clearest way to know that you're on the right track is it's silent. There's no story about it. There's no talking about it. There's no thinking about it.
No measurement.
There's no one saying, oh, this or oh, that or why or I've got to remember myself or
I remembered myself 85% of the time today. The measurement stops. The judging stops. And for that to stop, there's a profound meeting with death. Because that judging is so much a part of our human psyche and has been used to imitate conscience, has been used to internalize God, superego, the higher self. So to be willing to turn your back on that is really to be willing to turn your back on our religion. Because that is the religion, the internalized religion. And we cling to our ideas of God or our enlightened selves or our religions as a way of being comforted in the face of death. So really what Eli is inviting you into is to, as an adult, recognize that actually you can face the supreme discomfort of not being comforted with an outcome, with knowing something. But you can actually open your mind to meet the unknown, which we call death.
And if it's terrifying, that's a good sign. It's a really good sign. If you're terrified, because it is terrifying. And this is what keeps it so rare, or has kept it so rare in the past. But now that you know that it's a confirming sign, you go, yes, I'm terrified. Oh, it means I'm getting close to something real here.
And terror is your ally.
And terror is a sign to continue instead of a sign to turn back. And then everything is in service.
I don't know if it's still true, but I know years ago, part of the whole New Age catechism was that to get rid of your fear, that either you were loving or you were fearful. And so fear became the boogeyman or the devil. And so if you had fear, that was proof somehow that you hadn't met God or you weren't a fully realized person. But fear has a right to be here. There's no problem with fear. And in fact, in your willingness to let fear be fully here, you have the capacity to meet it. If fear is demonized as something that shouldn't be here because it's not spiritual or it's not holy or it's not love, then it won't be seen when it's appeared. It will be denied or it'll be overlooked. You'll whistle through the fear. In the willingness to let everything be here, then there is the possibility to discover what is really here. When you aren't fighting or rejecting with what appears, when you aren't trying to escape some emotion, to get someplace, when you are simply yourself in this moment, then what is here? And we're here to support you in discovering what is here.
Because usually the answer is, well, I'm just here now. And what does that mean? Well, it means I'm here and I'm with you and I've got these ideas about who you are or what's going on. And that's not what we mean by being here. When there's no me and no you, then you're here.
Then you are here. Who you are is what here is. And that's the truth. Here, the English word here, is your true name. That's your spiritual name.
And this here has no boundaries.
It's always present. Names come into it, people come into it, emotions come into it, bodies come into it. It remains. That's who you are. Just call you here.
That's right.
You are being called here. So whatever name you have gone by, that name is being called here, so that you can recognize yourself. Here-ness as being before and after and during any naming of fear or any other emotion.
And then everything's included. Here-ness has no problem with personality, with fear, with doubts, with confusion, with anything at all. It's all welcome. Emptiness doesn't change when there's noise present.
It doesn't touch it. Is here really affected by a storm that passes through? There's an experience of effect, but here remains. And if you check inside yourself, you can recognize concretely, I am always here. If you stop identifying yourself as a particular emotion that you would like to be, or as a particular state of mind, or as a judgment that someone has given you, or as a rebellion to that judgment. If you simply look deeper to what, in fact, is always here, then you can meet yourself. It's time to meet yourself. It's your time to meet yourself.